But I thank God every day that I made it over here because the opportunities that I've been given, some of the things you left out in the opening, like I won American Gladiators when I was in college, the TV show.
See, I was gonna let
I've
you
been
get
in
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Go
been
ahead.
in TVs, movies, finding music, all the beautiful American women I've vetted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, America is a beautiful place. I love it. Um, but I have not made it back. But I tell you, one of my goals, because I got this sailboat a few
Mhm.
months ago, because I'm planning on going around the world in a couple years. And
Okay.
I just finished recording this album. It's my first album in 20 years, and I had recorded an album 20 years ago called Angel out of New York City with Ron Alexenberg. He was my manager there. He was president of Epic Records, CBS Records, Infinity Records, and he represented Jimmy Ninja. He also represented Michael Jackson after he left the Jackson 5. He represented some of these other artists you might have heard of, Meatloaf,
Mhm.
Kansas, Heart, just all legends. And I was fortunate enough because of my manager in South Florida, Dan Baronico, the general, who got me involved with some high rollers in the music industry. Luigi Gonzalez, who's a Grammy nominated producer. I think he's a Grammy award winning producer, actually. He's out in LA now. But he produced Angel, and we ended up out in New York for a while. We shot the video for it. You can go on YouTube and type in Angel by Jimmy Ninja, and you'll see the music video we shot 20 years ago. And that song was showcased on MTV2 for a moment. And then the whole rockstar managerial dispute bullshit popped up about a year into that
Mhm.
7-year record label project that went from indies to that major opportunity, and it kind of all fell apart. And my heart got broken, and I got out of the business for 20 years. But for the first time in 20 years, I just completed my newest album called Pearl. It's not out yet, but it's gonna get out. We just started working on the mastering over at White Barn Recording. Shout out to my producer for the Ocean over there, Shane Terrell from Shane Terrell and the Stumblers. We have our first single in 20 years called My Favorite Song that I did with the Ninja Cowboys, Joey and Frank and Max Harrison. We're in on that one. And we did that out of Wonderland Records right here in Clyde, Texas, where Marvin Gaye and Elvis Presley
Hey.
recorded with my producer, Travis Fox from Callahan Divide, and Garrett Bryan came in and did drums. Also want to throw out a shout out to Jordan Haynes playing keyboards on the Ocean. And I never thought this would happen again. I never thought 20 years later I would get back in the business, but I have, and a lot of it came. And I'm dropping so much on your people and your audience right off the bat, but that's my life.
Well, no,
Uh,
no, do your thing, Jimmy. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, well, 20 years later, I was inspired to record and finish a new album because I lost my wife, my boy's mom, 2 years ago.
I'm sorry.
Um, 2 years ago, July, and uh, she had cancer and sclerosis of the liver, and just she was young too. She was 38 years old, and that rocked me so hard that the only way I could survive that was to kick out some more music. And so, for the first time in 20 years, I made a new album, and I am about to release it. And I have my first single, my favorite song, released on CD Nashville, which is one of the biggest distributors in the United States. And in the first 3 weeks, we got top downloads, which
See.
means DJs in that area downloaded our song the most out of thousands of weekly submissions. So we're pretty fired up about that. That was only about 6 weeks ago. And then just
Congratulations,
this
Jimmy.
week, thank you. And just this week, Bill Green from CD Tex. All right, he's an awesome guy. Runs CD Tex here in Texas. They
Mhm.
do a lot of the Texas music charts. Just released my second song called Lakeland, which is about this girl I fell in love with in Lakeland, Florida, thinking I would help. She would help me
Those
soothe
Lakeland
the
girls.
pain. About that. She thought I'd soothe the pain of losing my wife a year ago, and that didn't really work out. But it did heal me from a
Mhm.
lot of trauma and wounds and abandonment issues and attachment issues in the past year. That I'm standing in a place right now, emotionally balanced, stability, and strength that I've never been at because of those wounds and that experience of going through that with her. So much lost in the last 7 years, from my stepdad Walter, who raised me, to my wife Christy, who gave me my children, my reason for living, and then you know coming back with this new album Pearl and we recorded Pearl in Austin, Texas. That's the debut single. It's out. It's out too. That's my first video since the video Angel. So that, to give it in a nutshell, that's kind of what's happened in the past 20 years from that album to what we're doing right now. I lost you in the screen. Are you
No,
just
no, no,
putting
no.
me
I'm
up?
here. I'm here. No, I've got you. I've got you center screen because so as we promote the interview, we cut clips of different sections to kind of
Right,
get people enticed, and I would like to have them to understand who's being interviewed. So that's why we got your full screen.
right on.
But I'm here. I was just listening to your journey, boss man, and just I'm sorry to hear about these losses. I think it's admirable how you're paying homage to these souls that have definitely sound like they've played an impact in your growing of who you are today.
Yeah,
And it sounds like you found a way to you found an outlet for this with the new songs that you put out. I gotta ask you, Jimmy, like you said, it's been about 20 years since you've put out a song. Can I ask as far as your experience in getting everything ready, how do you think it differs from before as far as just your use of technology? Do you find it easier as far as
ah,
distribution? Do you find it as far as just the processes? Do you find it harder? Do you find it more hands on, more like what's your just general take since you have that experience?
that's a great question. So much has changed in the music industry in the past 20 years.
Mhm.
Um, First off, I never thought I would ever get signed, or did I even really want to get signed? I was a guy who liked to play in bars and get drunk and hook up. And music
Rock
was
and roll,
this
bro.
magical thing I found in college. And because I was so, I don't know if I was great at it, but people really took notice.